Thank you. I'm sorry we got a little messed up on our times and fell behind.
No problem. It's so awesome hearing everybody's excitement and promotion. I've been listening for a bit this afternoon, and it's just amazing. And thank you for having us.
It's amazing for me because I'm not a runner. I get pains in my knees now just from from using them for more basic things. But it's such an exciting vibe to be part of, to step in the middle of. It's so upbeat and so problem solving and so positive. It's just great.
It is. I have never met, and to say met, I use that loosely because face to face, I've only met a handful of these folks, but I have never met a more positive, just life-changing group of people as a one-run family. It is just amazing. I've been lucky enough to meet some of them in person, and it's like you've known them all your life. I heard Scott on earlier, and it's like we're the family. We never knew we had. It's just amazing what a group of positive people, the change that they can make and really take a dark circumstance and just shed such amazing light. It's just an amazing thing to be a part of, whether you're running, promoting, donating, just to be a part of it. It's so amazing.
So tell us what are the specifics and what got you involved? How did all this come into your life?
Sure. It's funny you mentioned that you weren't really a runner. I myself, until 5 years ago, was never really a runner. And the thought of doing a marathon, I couldn't wrap my head around it. And last year, I was working from home, actually, and someone had mentioned what had happened, and I just couldn't wrap my head around it. And then to see what happened, and then not long after, I live near Philadelphia, where we were doing a run, and I'm part of just a group, and someone mentioned, we're going to all wear red socks to honor the victims in Boston. So we all wore red socks for one of our biggest runs through the city. And then later on, someone in the same group said, hey, there's this cross-country nonstop relay they're doing for the victims. And I looked into it, and through my work, we're actually allowed a volunteer day, and I thought, my gosh, I can't think of a better way to use this volunteer day than to help the victims of this horrible event. So I got in my car, and with my retired mom who helped me at the exchange, we headed out to middle of Pennsylvania, 90-degree heat in the humid summer. And when you just see the baton coming your way, there were people, again, I never met. You hug them. It's just an amazing bond that the running community has. One of us is down, we're all down. And the Boston Marathon is such an amazing event that to have people there and to have that feeling of crossing the finish line, just to get there is an incredible feeling, let alone to have that moment basically taken from you. I just couldn't fathom that. So to do something for these people and the victims was a no-brainer. And just to realize that, my gosh, this baton that I'm carrying came the whole way from California, and here I am in Pennsylvania carrying this baton and handing it off to a next group that a couple days later will cross the finish line in Boston. It's I keep using the word amazing, but quite honestly, there isn't a word for the feeling of being a part of this event and the people that you meet, and just I'm hearing it kick off today. It's just these next couple weeks, just to watch it progress across the country through darkness and floods. I remember pictures from last year. There were lightning in some folks, the pictures they were sharing, and going through Oklahoma after that disaster. It's just the way this country bands together when it's down. It's just so much pride I have.
It's interesting, Jen, the language that you use, it sounds very similar to military operations where, yes, people have this feeling of connection because you're suffering pain, you're taking risk, you're training together, and there is a closeness that develops that I think most people don't get to feel with people outside of family connections very often. It might be even more powerful than the feelings people have with family.
It's true. It really is, because again, I ran my personally my first marathon this past year, and it was the Marine Corps, and I had my One Run for Boston shirt on, and I remember running, and I saw a fellow gentleman. I couldn't see who it was from the front, but I saw One Run for Boston on his back, and I tapped him, and I go, One Runner, and we hugged and embraced, and this year he was the first donation I'm a lead runner for our leg here in Pennsylvania. He was my first donation. So again, someone I never met, seeing him on the first marathon I ever ran, we hugged, and now, he's one of my friends. And it just happens so quickly, the bond that this group creates.
Jen, thank you so much for calling in and telling us your story. It's really exciting. Dare I say it was an amazing story. It's great fun to talk with you.
Thank you. You know my true feelings there. Thank you. Thank you so much for having us on.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, this is J4 Traffic. One Run for Boston today is what our radio station is. Hello there.